Thank you. It was at a dinner that you hosted a couple months ago that I raised what I thought was a not terribly ambitious goal, suggesting that those in the center-right should have a conversation about the costs and the benefits, the purposes, and the end goals of the American occupation of Afghanistan, and to ask, what are we doing and how long are we staying and what's it going to cost? And there was some criticism, but we did, I think, in the center-right, begin to get a conversation going. And I want to first talk about sort of why we didn't have a robust conversation over the last 10 years and why it's difficult getting it going. And I think there are a couple reasons. One is there's no draft. So there are a whole bunch of people who don't have skin in the game and who don't enter the conversation. Part of it was that it started under Bush's watch, and Republicans were reflexively just supporting the president. And, of course, Republicans all cheerfully voted for Bush when he said we're going to have a humbler foreign policy and not get wrapped around the axle on places that you can't pronounce, and in Yugoslavia and Somalia. And we weren't going to be doing that sort of thing anymore. And Republicans said, fine, yes, good. And then when he decided not simply to knock out the Taliban government and try and kill the leadership of al-Qaeda, but decided to stay and turn Afghanistan into Kansas, people continued to say, okay. And there wasn't a conversation that, wait a minute, we went from kinder, gentler to jumping on top of another country and occupying a rather large country with a history of not being appreciative of being occupied, and getting involved in all sorts of tribal matters that perhaps we didn't understand as well as we might. And yet, because it was sort of a Republican president doing, a lot of Republicans said, okay, and let it slide. Ronald Reagan decided not to occupy Lebanon when our Marines were hit in Lebanon. He didn't say, we will now stay and manage your civil war here for you for the next 15 years. He actually said, we're not going to stay and be in the middle of your civil war. And the Lebanese had a perfectly fine civil war all by themselves. It didn't require our supervision or our financing, and it ended no better or worse than it would have if we'd sat on top of it and then left one day.